Hey, today's prompt is how does different social media platforms appeal to different users slash audiences? And today I'll be using ChatGPT as the AI system. The introduction that it gave me from this prompt is different social media platforms appeal to various users and audiences based on their unique features, user interfaces, content types, and community cultures. Here's how some of the major platforms cater to distinct demographics and interests. Starting off, the first one that it gave me, well, overall, it gave me a list of about 10, but I narrowed it down to five that I felt like they were the most common and most relevant for this discussion. And the first that it gave me was Facebook. Um, it said the audience is a broad demographic with a strong presence among older adults. I feel like that's very true. Most parents typically have Facebook. There's a few of my peers that have it as well, but it's not very common amongst my peers. And even generations below me, they also don't have Facebook. So it's definitely dying out with the newer generation and with a strong presence in the older generation, and that is mostly because it's for personal connections, community groups, which is not something that the a younger audience really like. It doesn't really appeal much for the younger audience. Instagram, uh, the audience it states is for younger users, particularly teens and young adults. I feel like Instagram is definitely for younger adults. I feel like it's a great mix of teens and adults in general. Um, And there's a lot of visual contents, like it says, aesthetic presentations, a lot of influencer and brands on there for sure. Stories and reels. I feel like it grabs aspects from a little bit of Facebook, a little bit of like almost the Snapchat side of things with stories and whatnot. I feel like this is the user interface in general is like more presented to middle age to like young adults and whatnot, with there being a lot of kids and also a lot of older people on there as well. TikTok, predominantly Gen Z, but rapidly growing across other age groups. I feel like this is especially true. You can see a wide range of people on this app. It is growing very exponentially as well. TikTok, the appeal of it is like there's short form videos, people with like low attention spans, so kids don't really have very high attention spans. They want that quick dopamine rush or whatever form they get it from. Short videos really appeal to that. Viral trends. This used to remind me of Vine and whatnot when there used to be a bunch of viral trends, and I think that's another pill that's beginning to cross the like younger adult side of it as well. User generated content and algorithm driven feed. So like whatever your own feed is personalized by what you like. So it's like any person who's watching, like anybody like has TikTok and whatnot, your experience is going to be unique to yourself, and you're going to find content that you're going to enjoy because that's what it's going to give you based off like the way you interact and whatnot. So I feel like I would have to strongly agree on uh, the input that I gave about TikTok. Snapchat, the audience primarily teenagers and young adults. I would have to strongly agree with that. I remember in high school, I used Snapchat a lot more than I do now. I'm hardly ever on Snapchat. Mostly me and my peers that I know we use iMessage as a form of contact, or maybe Instagram every now and then. But Snapchat is not really a form of contact that I've been using since I've like gotten to college and whatnot. And I feel like as you grow older, you kind of fall out of that of using Snapchat, and you usually either iMessage or some type of like messenger system like that. The appeal to it for kids though is focused on temporary disappearing content. So it's like that whole idea that nothing lasts forever, a mental state when you're a child. That really plays into that. Stories, private sharing. You get that privacy that like once you get into college and that stuff, that privacy comes from other factors, and so you don't have to have that privacy on Snapchat essentially. So it's definitely targeted for a younger audience. Uh, this last one decided to discuss about is Reddit. It says the audience is diverse with a strong presence of tech savvy and niche interest communities. Um, I feel like this is like very. I would have to agree with this one as well because Reddit, you kind of get to pick and choose where you socialize on. Like different types of groups and communities is very niche interest with a wide range of, like, anyone from kids can go on there and talk about different stuff in their own communities, as well as older adults or like uh, people that are looking for very specific topics. They can find their own communities in that and are able to have their own people to surround themselves with. So it's definitely made for a little bit of everybody. You can find almost a community for anything on Reddit. Uh, some of the appeal to Reddit is that community driven, like I was just talking about. Um, you're anonymous for the most part. You don't really have to like show who you are, or it's up to you to like really express who you are, like let people know who you are. But for the most part, you don't know who anyone is, so it's like you kind of can express how you want to express. Specialized interest, I feel like that goes to community driven content, a vote and downvote system, community moderated content quality. I feel like, yeah, Reddit is just kind of meant for a little bit of everybody. I feel like it has a very diverse audience. The outro that it gave me was each platform has cultivated a specific user base and content style that aligns with interests and behaviors of its primary audiences, leveraging it a unique feature to create a tailored social media experience. I would have to. I feel like the output that ChatGPT gave me with the input I gave it, I feel like it gave a pretty good response coming from a, I guess, almost a robotic aspect. It's not really coming from like it's not coming from a viewpoint of a person that has used these. It's comes from a viewpoint of like what has these businesses done to try to like reach out to this audience or reach out to that audience, and that is my takeaway from this prompt. Thank you for watching.